What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we need to talk about Mullen Automotive, ticker symbol MULN, because this stock is on the run again today, all right? This is one that we've seen running in the past. We're going to talk a little bit very briefly for anyone who's new to this stock about what's caused it to run in the past, what's causing it to run now, where this stock might be headed, right? You can see that over the past 30 days, there have been two runs on this stock. The first one was a big pump up here caused by news about a new battery that they have in development. This is an EV company, so a new battery they're developing is a big deal. It's supposedly going to be able to allow vehicles, electric vehicles, to travel about 600 miles on one charge, which is the longest range EV that would be out there. However, prototype testing isn't expected to start until 2025, so it's a long way out, but it did cause some hype on the stock initially. After that, this stock became a little bit more of a short squeeze play, all right? People started talking about the short interest on it. We're going to take a look at the short interest. And we're also going to talk about what's pumping this thing up today, all right? There are a couple of things moving this up. So first off, it was mentioned on Yahoo Finance that this was featured on CarBuzz, that Mullen was featured on CarBuzz, that the CEO of Mullen Automotive recently did an interview, David Mitchery, and he did talk about this company a bit, right? So he talked about Mullen and the performance that they might be expecting in the future. Gave some talks about their production plans, their market strategy, the 5 EV crossover that they're working on. And this was overall viewed as very bullish for the company, right? A lot of people took note of this company because CarBuzz does actually have over 9 million monthly visitors to their site. So it's a relatively big car site. And this stock is actually a pretty small market cap stock sitting at $70 million. It's very easy to move this stock. It does not take much to move this stock in a big way. Now, in addition to the feature on CarBuzz, this stock also got added to Reddit. So you can see just about a day ago, maybe this thing started tracking on Reddit, or a couple days ago, maybe potentially right before the weekend. This thing started getting tracked on Reddit. You can see it's already the number 5 most talked about stock on Reddit at the moment. It's doing pretty darn well. It's getting talked about not just on Reddit, but a lot of places, right? It's getting talked about on StockTwits. It's the number 1 most active stock there. It's also being talked about on Google. A ton of people are searching for MULN stock on Google. It's actually blowing out of the water all of its previous search rankings from last week. So you can see a ton of new people are searching for MULN as compared to how many were searching for it before. So obviously, this thing's getting a whole bunch of attention. A whole bunch of people, starting late on Friday, it looks like, started moving into this stock, started buying this stock up. At the moment, we're actually experiencing a bit of a decline, right? We're hitting up that $2 resistance level. We tried to break past it a couple of times, and we started moving down. And this is why I always advocate in a non-financial advice way that what I like to do at the very least is when I'm involved in a stock and I'm very green on the position, I like to slowly take profits here and there to lock in some gains, just in case. I mean, imagine this thing goes back down to your cost basis. You wouldn't actually want to have made no money on it, or you wouldn't want to be in the red. But at the same time, you probably want to keep a little bit around because this thing could go significantly higher. In fact, if you look at the yearly chart, this thing has been significantly higher, even as late as January, or as early as recently as January. This thing was much, much higher. And from where it's at now, to get just back to where it opened the year this January at, it would have a 189% gain if it just gained back what it had lost since January. So there's certainly some upside for this company, especially if things start taking a turn for the better. Production-wise and whatnot. This at a fundamental level, this thing could move up. This isn't a fundamental analysis of MULN stock. If you guys are interested in that, we are probably going to do one at some point in the future on the channel. I'll probably make a video on the fundamentals of MULN, so feel free to subscribe if you're interested in seeing that. Right now, we're just talking about the pump that we're currently experiencing. So a lot of people obviously are buying up MULN because there is some hype surrounding it. A lot of places are featuring MULN as of late, right? It's getting a decent amount of traction on Yahoo Finance. This is where we've talked about it before, where they broke some news about their battery that initially pumped them up, right? It was on Yahoo Finance as well. Obviously, CarBuzz is talking about this stock. CarBuzz is featuring them. Big car platform, right? Reddit has them at the number 5 most active stock. So a bunch of people on Reddit are talking about them. StockTwits, number 1, Google, they're trending. And we've also got, to top it all off, a decent amount of short interest, right? Not the highest short interest that we've ever seen, right? In fact, it's a fairly low percentage of the free float, about 2.51% of the free float, 3.89 million shares short. Now, a lot of people are talking about the short interest on this being massive and whatnot. And to put it in perspective, at least what's estimated by Ortex, 3.89 million shares is what Ortex is saying they've got short. I tend to trust Ortex. Some people will say that's a mistake. I find it's fairly reliable. All right, Ortex, 3.89 million shares short. If you do the math on that, even if this thing was $2, that's about $8 million worth of short positions. So in terms of a short squeeze, I'm not the most convinced that we're going to see a huge short squeeze. If institutions have maybe $8 million short on this thing, it would have to go up pretty significantly to actually start putting a lot of pressure on institutions' accounts, because that's probably not all just one institution. It's probably spread out across a couple different institutions, and $8 million isn't the biggest amount for institutions. It depends on which ones are shorting it. Obviously, we don't actually know specifically which institutions are shorting it, but it seems like the kind of a thing that wouldn't cause too much of a worry for margin calls, right? Less than a $10 million short position, this thing would have to go up pretty massively to create the kind of pressure that you would need for a big short squeeze, right? And it's certainly possible that over the longer term, it could, right? Maybe even in a short to midterm, it could start to rise pretty dramatically. Even to just get up to where it was in January, right? It would have to get up to $5. That would already be a massive rise. A lot of stocks have been hurt as of late. A lot of stocks have been pushed down dramatically due to the whole situation going on in Russia and Ukraine, all the tensions based on inflation and the Fed potentially raising rates. A lot of catalysts have been driving stocks down lately, and it's certainly affected MULN, it looks like, as well, right? This one's gotten as low as 52 cents, all the way down, about a 90% decrease from where we started the year at $5.23. So pretty crazy stuff to see on this one. We'll definitely be looking at it at a fundamental level in a future video, so feel free to subscribe for that. But as of this video, we just wanted to talk about the pump that was going on and some of the catalysts that were driving that, right? We're getting a whole bunch of search interest, a whole bunch of people looking into this, buying into this pump play, some of it based on short squeeze hype, some of it based on other catalysts like their battery and their features and whatnot. So that's what we've got going on with MULN. We could certainly be seeing maybe a bit of a temporary top at $2. It's not a guarantee. It looks like at the moment we're bouncing off of that. But if we do come back during the course of the day, we could certainly break above, maybe make some new highs. Hopefully that will be the case for anyone holding MULN. I think that over the long term, we'll have to see what we're going to do with this. I'll look more into the fundamentals of the company in a little bit. And if you guys are interested in that, feel free to subscribe to the channel. But other than that, guys, that's what we've got. If you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe or like the video. And other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.